Good evening, everyone. It's the question on everybody's mind tonight at UB's Alumni Arena. Will Hillary Clinton run for president?
But the guest of honor wasn't dropping any hints. News 4's Rachel Kingston is live at UB North, where Mrs. Clinton spoke to a sold-out crowd and even faced a heckler at one point. Rachel?
That's right. The central theme of Mrs. Clinton's speech tonight was on the need for more stability and greater cooperation in American government, putting people before politics. Hillary Clinton received a resounding standing ovation as she walked on stage to speak at UB's Alumni Arena. Mrs. Clinton focused much of her address on the need for greater cooperation and less partisanship in American government.
Now, recently in Washington, we've seen what happens when politicians choose scorched earth over common ground.
At one point, a man got up and began shouting, "Benghazi, you let them die." Clinton's response drew more cheers from the crowd.
We have to be willing to come together as citizens to focus on the kind of future we want, which doesn't include yelling. It includes sitting down and talking with one another.
Not surprisingly, the most asked question during the Q&A session was whether Clinton will seek the nation's top leadership position.
And I'm excited about hearing her possibly say something about her presidential run.
Women know how to get along, how to talk to each other, how to compromise, and how to move our country forward. We are ready for a woman.
UB Vice President for Student Affairs Dennis Black tried asking it a different way.
Perhaps you could describe for us what the ideal candidate for the presidency would look like in 3 years.
I'm not as interested in what the candidate looks like as what the candidate stands for. I'm trying to, insofar as it is possible, kind of isolate the extreme voices and allow the vast majority of Americans' voices to be heard.
So you can draw your own inferences from that very vague answer given by Mrs. Clinton tonight. I want to share a couple of other quotes, though, that made her sound a lot like that person she described. During the speech tonight, she said, quote, "I believe that together we can meet any challenge our country faces, and that as Americans, we don't just walk into someone's office and say, 'I'm an American and this is what I want you to do.' It's about building global relationships." Reporting live from UB's North Campus, Rachel Kingston, News 4 at 11.
Now, if Clinton were to run for president, she'd have a lot of support here in New York State. A Quinnipiac poll shows her leading the pack of Democratic hopefuls with 61%. Vice President Biden a distant second, followed by Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren and Governor Andrew Cuomo.